What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Dr. Black. I'm back. It's been a while. I had to transition from my overseas situation now to the USA, and so took a few weeks off. I know my channel is new and growing, so I'm going to be making more videos more often. Um, as far as relationships go, this question comes up a lot. This comment comes up a lot. This concept comes up a lot. And so today I want to talk to you guys about something that's very important. We're gonna use this as a foundation, okay, a foundational pillar. The word is overused, and you've heard it a lot. What is a good person? And a lot of people are making comments about what is a good person. I'm a good person, and I deserve a good person. And that's hard to talk about because good is relative. And I feel like good is not only relative, but it's also timely. So, for example, I say in my book that you have to be a good person, and then you have to hope to catch a person when they're in a mood to be good, or when they're in a moment to be good. If you think about it, it's like being mature. You're not born mature. A lot of people are born more mature than others. A lot of people develop maturity. They always say women mature at a younger age than men. And being mature is important, but it's about timeliness. It's not about if you're just going to be mature, but it's about when you mature. And I think the same thing goes for being good. I think maturity and goodness are synonymous. And I want to start by saying that I don't think, and some people may disagree, that's everyone's right, but I don't think the majority of people are good. And I don't think that there's evidence that the majority of people are good. So if we're going out there in the first place looking for a good person, that means that we're looking for something in a minority. And I think that we all really, if we think about it hard enough, really have to accept that. I think we all know that, even though that a lot of people want to make the argument that I'm good or they're good or we're good or people are good. There are a lot of people who are optimists who are saying people in general are good. They're lying, or they're just looking at the cup that's quarter full, half full. It's not a quarter full. It's not even a half full. A lot of people are not good. Let's take Dwayne Wade, for example. Dwayne Wade is with Gabrielle Union, and for what we can tell at this moment, they're very happy. So at this moment, Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union are very happy. They're raising their 3 children. They seem to be very happy. But some of us remember back when Dwayne Wade was with his first wife that they weren't so happy, and they went through a divorce, and they went through a long, bitter divorce, and he had to try to fight for custody. So whether he was good there or not is not really for us to say, but we know who has opinion about that and who probably has a different opinion than Gabrielle Union, who's currently happy with Dwayne Wade. His first wife. Does his first wife think he's good? Does his first wife think that he's better now than he used to be? It's about time. It's about when a person is being good and if they're committed to that goodness versus if everyone's good, because everyone's not good. It's not possible to be good to everyone. Even if you don't say, let's say you don't have anyone who you hate. We all have people who we are adversarial to. We all have people who we are, in some cases, full-blown, straight up admitted enemies to. Do they think we're good? Of course not. Our enemies don't think we're good, and nor should they. That's the whole point. Does that make us good, or does that make us not good? It all depends on your perspective. And so I think that if you're going out into the world with this fantasy, romanticized expectation that there's a whole bunch of good people out there just waiting to coddle you and hold you and sweet talk you and give their best to you, it's not even reasonable. And I'm going to do another video on reasonable expectations, but this is one of my unreasonable expectations. These are one of the things that I label an unreasonable expectation. It is unreasonable for you to expect that everyone is good, or most people are good, and even worse, that people are going to be good to you naturally, normally, regularly. No. And that's what makes the person you settle down with, that's one of the things that should make them seem and be obviously special. If they have committed to being good to you, not one day, not 1 month, not 1 year, but if they, for the rest of their life, they have elevated you to a level where they have said that they're always going to give you their best. And that's what a spouse is really supposed to be about. A spouse is supposed to say, through rich or poor, better or worse, they're going to give you their best. But that doesn't mean they're going to give that to everyone, right? That wouldn't make sense if they gave it to everyone. So one of the things that lets you know that you're special, that lets you know that your partner appreciates you in a special way, is that they give you their best, and they're regularly, often, if not always, good to you. I guess nothing could be always, but people could be very good to you, and it won't be a lot of people, but it should be your spouse. Your spouse should be the one who's always good to you. But before you get to that level, before they're your spouse, while you're dating, while you're in the dating game, while you're searching for it, you hopefully will meet a person who's good to you more than just that first date or that second date. The person who commits to being good to you is that special person, because the majority of the world has no such commitment, and you shouldn't expect that anyone in the world is going to make that kind of commitment. You should work for that. And it's hard work to find someone who's going to commit to being good to you for years and years and years to come, for the rest of your life and for their life. And so, back to a point that I made in a previous video, before you start looking for a person who's going to be good to you, be in the headspace where you've committed that you're going to be good to a person. Be a good person, as I say in my book, be a good person so that you can better identify a good person. If you're doing the right things, if you're conducting your life in a way that you feel is goodness, because remember, this is subjective. So it starts with what your level of goodness is. If you can live up to your level of goodness, it will help you to identify other people who live up to your level of goodness. And then you can make a connection. That is the compatibility. That's going to allow you to both be able to build on a relationship and commit to a relationship and stay in a relationship, versus just going out there and saying, I deserve a good man, I deserve a good woman, this woman needs to this for me, this man needs to do that for me. It doesn't start with what others need to give you. It starts with what you can do for yourself. What example are you setting? So you don't have to be the leader, the boss, the man to set a good example. We all have to set examples. We all have to represent our own quality, our own value. It is not okay for us to be out here just looking at people, judging people, demanding things from other people, and then we're not taking care of our own business. So I don't think I'm a pessimist. I think I'm a realist. And I think that in reality, that most people aren't good. And especially most people aren't good often or all the time. Most people are good at a period of time. And the people who are good at that period of time, if you're dating them, if you're dating a person who's good at that period of time, that's good to you, that's treating you well, that respects you, that gives you a feeling of warmth and productivity and protection, and if they're committed to you, then stick with them. A lot of people mess up good relationships or mess up a relationship because they assume that there's always better out there. There isn't. If we stick with the premise, if we pay attention to the fact that most people aren't good, then when you do get a good person, when you get a person who is good to you at that time, appreciate them means you stay with them and you hold on to them and you reciprocate their goodness so that your relationship can be codified and go into the future, and hopefully that their being good to you won't just be a thing to overlook or pass by. It'll be something to build on and it get better than just being good generically, but it'll be concrete. You'll get some concrete results from that goodness. You won't just have a woman who doesn't cheat on you or a man who always says nice things to you, but you'll have that person who also is going to have the kind of lifestyle that you can live, that you both can build together, have that job that will sustain the lifestyle that you want, have that career, have those ambitions. But the point of this video is to say everyone isn't good. People in general aren't good, and the majority of people aren't good. Goodness starts with your definition. It's subjective. It's up to what you consider good, and it's fleeting. And so because it's fleeting, you have to appreciate when you get a good person at a time when they have chosen to be good. If a lot of people call it, from at least from a male perspective, as a bachelor, they say, all right, you go out there, you do your thing, then you want to settle down. That's when a man starts to be good. When you want to settle down, you want to be good. You stop treating women as objective, you stop objectifying women, you stop treating them as no big deal, and you want to settle down. Well, when you as a woman find a man who wants to settle down, and if his actions reflect the goodness, the things that you can appreciate, the things that you can work on, the things you can build with, then there you go. That's as good as it's going to get. There isn't always better out there. And too many of us have lost or thrown away relationships because we think that there's some kind of magical, situation out there that's going to be better. It's not. People weren't born to live up to your expectations. People weren't born to do what you want. We go into this world to make the best of things with other people who have their own choices. It's a dance. It's a job. It's hard work. And we got to go out there, try to work at it, try to do better. And I think if we start from the fact that the goodness is a small amount, it's finite, it's fleeting, then I think we'll respect others more by appreciating those who've been good to us, who are being good to us. One love.